1v1 on Kholodny Ferma again, and we're going to see BananaInPajamas against, I don't know. I need to learn how to speak Chinese slash Japanese slash Korean slash Vietnamese because I just want to be able to read it. I just want to be able to say it even if I don't know what it means. I'm so fortunate to have some viewers that can understand these languages, and sometimes they'll translate it for me in chat. Maybe somebody who speaks this language in chat can tell me what this says. I don't know what it says. But BananaInPajamas, we're very familiar with this player. He's been in Starcross casts, what, 4 times. He's also participated in Starcross Cup, so we've definitely seen BananaInPajamas before. He's going to be playing as Oberkommando West this game. He's got Scavenge, Luftwaffe Ground Forces, and Elite Armor. Uh-oh. Feeling a little bit dangerous, a little bit experimental. Elite Armor in the loadout. And his opponent is going to be fielding Guard Motor Coordination. Tank Hunter. Oh, geez. Tank Hunter and Shock Rifle Frontline Tactics. So I think there's an extremely good chance we're going to be seeing PTRS blobs this game. Supposedly it's gotten very strong. Very strong this patch. If that's true, I'm very curious to see it. Tank Hunter honestly was already pretty good without the PTRS buff. I very much liked the stun mines, anti-tank bomb run. I liked the salvage kit, leaving 2 abilities that were okay and 3 abilities that were really quite good. Now the PTRS also seems to be really quite good, so it leaves only the anti-tank grenade assault as decent, but not really anything to pick a commander over. So that could be interesting.
Too close! That was too close!
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
These 2 squads moving up to fire on the Volksgrenadiers in that building. Conscripts taking up position inside this house. Stern Pioneers, we have a second squad of Stern Pioneers on the field from BananaInPajamas. He wants to shut down this heavy conscript opening by utilizing these close-range assault squads, but he doesn't have any Volksgrenadiers available to screen and soak up damage for him. Couldn't find a way to get in position. Takes a lot of manpower bleed right there. That's 80 manpower for those 2 model losses. If you think about it, that really stacks up. That's very expensive manpower bleed on Sturms. Very hard to support more than 1 Stern Pioneer squad. I don't know. Oberkommando West tends to float manpower, so if you throw that extra Stern Pioneer squad on the field, pretty decent chance that you're going to be able to depression of a nerd? Wow. Somebody's going to have to explain the more nuanced meaning, like what that's supposed to evoke. That's kind of an interesting interesting name for an in-game Company of Heroes name. I wish I had the cultural understanding to really fully grasp what he was trying to say. But yeah, Oberkommando West can float manpower occasionally, so throwing out that second Stern Pioneer squad on the field could be sustainable if you can engage really well at close quarters. Like BananaInPajamas is doing here, he's doing quite nicely, chasing conscripts that are fleeing from him at short range, trying to burst them down on red cover where applicable, and then never, of course, crossing red cover himself if it can be avoided. At this range, I think the conscripts will win this engagement. They just have too many superior numbers. That is 6 conscript squads fielded. 6 conscripts, no tech structures. He's going very hard into conscripts. And no commander selection from either player yet. 2 squads of Stern Pioneers is not going to be enough to keep 6 conscripts back. He's going to need... he has spent some manpower on tech. I think if he had fielded a Kuba wagon, he may have been able to alleviate some of this early game pressure, but he's also spread his forces out to capture territory, while almost all Soviet squads are just straight for the cutoff. Going straight for the cutoff. Thank you, Jaswin, for your increasingly generous donation. Holy... Wow! Thank you, Jaswin. That is so generous and nice of you. Thank you so much.
Ready for the bend! Eyes up! Contact! Enemy fire! Grenadiers ready! Support upgrade!
I forgot what I was talking about again. That really throws me off my game.
Available for operations.
It really does.
Enemy
wiped though. Stern Pilot Squad just got wiped. That was kind of a late retreat. Flanking conscripts over there on the left side. Gonna see the harassing Folks Grenadiers over here. They're in a dangerous spot, honestly. Flag Half-Track is on the field, though. I'm sure BananaInPajamas is really wishing he hadn't lost that Stern Pioneer squad. That's a lot of manpower down the drain. He hasn't inflicted any squad wipes on his opponent. If you have to lose a squad in the early game, you really want it to be a Folks Grenadier squad, not a Stern Pioneer squad. That's just too expensive, too much manpower investment to let go. You're already kind of at a disadvantage as Over Commando West in the early game for manpower because your reinforcement costs will be higher than your opponent's. In all likelihood, you will not be able to engage cost effectively. It's just impossible, which means you have to minimize that disadvantage by engaging very nicely, not suffering any squad wipes, just spending all that floating manpower on reinforcements. Reinforcements and fresh squads, never replacement squads. Or you're off to a huge disadvantage. It's very hard to recover from early squad wipes as Over Commando West. If your opponent presses his advantage, his manpower advantage against you, you may never be able to come back from a few early squad wipes. Ooh, that's a good start though. That was a good start. Almost wipes that squad with some really nice flak bursts. Wonder if he was attacking manually. I wonder if he was attacking the squad or using attack ground right there. Attack ground. You can, if you're really precise with attack ground, place the flak bursts exactly where you want them. You can get some really nice damage done. Let's see. With 6 squads of conscripts, he has chosen Tank Hunter Tactics. Tank Hunter Tactics will shut this opening down extremely hard. Flak Half-Track does seem to be the logical counter to conscript spam, but if they all get equipped with PTRSs, which it looks like they all are going to be equipped with PTRSs, Flak Half-Track may not perform so well. Here it comes. Wow, pretty big burst right there. Ooh, that was close. That Flak Half-Track's basically been made irrelevant. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be able to contribute meaningfully to engagements at all. Basically, the only thing BananaInPajamas could now hope to do with this thing. What do you mean, no response as always? Yes, they did send me a care package. Hi, Helping Hans. These 2 squads, or this squad in the building, taking a lot of damage from the mass PTRSs. They're going to be forced to retreat. Don't think any of those PTRS shots really connected right there. And there they go.
Will allow us to better economize our resources. Command level capabilities ready for deployment. Mission accomplished.
Grenadiers back to full strength.
Taking fire! Jaeger, defensive formation!
PTRS is now blobbing back towards the fuel. BananaInPajamas has excellent map control at this point, by the way. Has all 3 victory points under his control. Both munitions points. He's cut his opponent's fuel off. So although he's at a bit of a manpower disadvantage, having lost those full squad of Sturms earlier, hasn't inflicted that many losses on his opponent. Thank you. Jeez. Thank you so much, Mortar, for your donation. I will definitely move your replay into the fast lane. That is very generous of you. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting so emotional. I'm trying to focus on the game. Okay, PTRSs are engaging these squads, and Jaeger Lights have been fielded, so BananaInPajamas trying to respond to this by picking Scavenge Doctrine. Those PTRSs, I mean, I don't think the PTRSs are really making that much of a difference. Folks Grenadiers were going to lose that anyway. 1 squad against 3 squads of conscripts, so he gets forced away there. It's really the Flak Half-Track that is most dramatically affected by this sheer quantity of PTRSs. Folks Grenadiers are working on the south right now. Flak Half-Track trying to set up in a position right here. I think he was trying to attack ground through this, but you cannot fire through this forest as far as I'm aware. Black half-track is not set up for this push. Ooh, that was a nasty volley. PTRS just sniped those Sturms twice. Jeez, bad engagement for those Sturm Pyos. Combat engineers will be pushed away. Flak half-track might be able to get one burst off. If it gets its engine damaged by an AT grenade, it's guaranteed dead. It has to... It must kite. There's no way it can tank that engagement. BananaInPajamas will be able to get to safety, but again, with the threat of those PTRSs on the field, he can't really utilize that flak half-track at all. It's kind of just... it's just a big target. He needs to position it so carefully and get a really nice burst off with it at range just to maybe get a little damage. I don't know. He's going to take an AT grenade here, I think. Wow, look at that. Can PTRSs attack ground? Does anybody know? I'm not sure. Probably, right? I'm pretty sure they can. So, smoke is only so much protection.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Well, that's something. There's the first squad wipe for BananaInPajamas. Again, despite his struggles against the PTRS blob here, his map control is still like superb as the whole map. I think this will probably be fine against the PTRSs. I don't think they can safely assault it unless they execute a really nice multi-directional flank, which would be difficult in this area. And that's going to complete unharassed. Tier 3 is getting built here in the Soviet base. Since he's had such awful map control the entire game, he's really not even that close to a T-34. Probably just going to go with half-track or T-70. If he gets a half-track, he'll be able to reinforce the PTRS blob in the field, but he just isn't making any progress anywhere on the map. And most of the map's not that defended. We're going to see the Soviet player spread himself out a little bit, try and take control of a little bit more territory. One thing the PTRSs are clearly good at is destroying cover, though. There's no green cover. No green cover for any Axis infantry there. Those Jaegers just got nailed. A couple good PTRS shots connected. Flak half-track manages to suppress the entire blob here. It needs to pop smoke, though. I don't know if it's going to get away this time. If he attacks ground, I think it's going to go down. I still actually, somebody has to confirm whether or not you can attack ground through smoke, though. I don't know if you can or not. I don't play Soviets nearly enough. My inexperience with Soviets is showing. I guess I'm going to guess no. Yeah, I feel like he would have. Unless he also doesn't realize that that's something that he can do. Flak half-track managing the threat of the PTRS is pretty well here. It's dangerously close to dying during that engagement, but it's got 17 kills, it's Vet 2. It's still alive, so that alone is pretty impressive. But those PTRSs have taken a toll on BananaInPajamas. I think he's lost 2 full squads of Jaeger light infantry to those conscripts, which is really just terrible. That's a lot of manpower down the drain. 300 manpower for every one of those squads he loses. His infantry forces are not that large, but having built his tier 4 with the 155 fuel in the bank, probably going to be able to get a, I don't know, I might even go Sturm Tiger against this. I would. I know most other people would not. I love the Sturm Tiger, though. I always field it and then immediately lose. But, ooh. Mine right there. And he has gone half-track, by the way, rather than T-34. Still hurting for fuel. Still hasn't been built. He still doesn't even have this. There's not even any units left here in the north, but he's just clustering all of his conscripts around this half-track so that he will always be able to engage effectively, and even if that means that he's going to take forever to take territory, he is not splitting this up. Fresh conscripts making their way towards the south.
Command level capabilities ready for deployment.
Try and get some stuff under control there. The flak half-track takes an AT grenade from one lone squad of conscripts, and that's probably one of the best things you can do with this half-track, by the way. Utilize it for counter-harassment. If he just shuts down lone capping squads over here on the left, he never really is faced with the threat of being swarmed by this. Should be okay. So that's a good usage for that. That's kind of not why you buy it, though. That's the main problem. You buy this thing so that you'll be able to fight this. He doesn't really have any way to fight this right now, other than to just try and avoid it. Fortunately, by spreading out and capturing territory, he's doing the right thing. He's putting pressure on his opponent to split himself up, try and get some territory under control. If he's just going to walk around with one giant clump of PTRS blob, he's never going to get any territory under his control, and he'll lose the economic game. So BananaInPajamas doing the right thing here, dealing with the threat in the best way that he can for right now. And maybe later in the game he'll have something a little bit more meaty on the field. If he can get a heavy tank out, which obviously his only real option is the King Tiger, and he has a lot of fuel coming in, the PTRSs are not any real threat to the King Tiger, but tank hunter tactics in general is. The stun mine and anti-tank bombing run is a serious threat to the King Tiger, and the PTRSs just kind of help blink away at it in addition to that. So King Tiger might be a risky play. He may want to just go with Oversoldaten with LMGs. And of course, if he can get some good infiltration grenade tosses off, that would help a lot too. And he has gone scavenge, so he has access to those. But so far, it looks like engagements are not going to go his way until he feels something a little more juicy. Personally, again, I would be very tempted to get a Storm Tiger against this. I would be very tempted. Probably wouldn't work, but I would. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Looks like we're going to see an attempt at an assault on the Tier 4 structure. Flak half-track is here with Sturm Pioneer support for repairs if necessary. And that gets shut down so hard. Boom. One squad wiped. He could recover that, maybe. Oh, the Sturm Pioneers get it. Oh, man. Not worth it, though. In red cover, those PTRSs are even more accurate. He stood no chance of surviving that retreat. Jeez. That squad just disappeared. Did you see that burst of damage? That is crazy. Ouch. At least he's wiped one conscript squad. Not a good trade to wipe one conscript squad in exchange for Sturms, of course. But at least he has slightly reduced the size of this PTRS swarm. And the reason Tank Hunter is so much scarier than Guard Motor or just guards in general is because conscripts are so cheap. You can make so many of these. One or two squads with PTRSs would be like a minor threat to the flak half-track with supporting infantry. But like 6 squads is very difficult for the Overcommando West to deal with. They just don't seem to have a counter that is not a light vehicle. That isn't also like... Ooh, there it finally goes. Didn't pop smoke in time. Nice flank, I guess, but in all fairness, BananaInPajamas had extremely little time to react. It was probably just a matter of time before that went down. Now, I'm not sure I agree with the purchase of the King Tiger. The King Tiger will be very resilient to PTRS fire. But against the sheer quantity, and against the anti-tank bomb run, against the potential threat of stun mines, I'm not sure King Tiger is going to survive. T-34 available to support as well. I don't know. We'll see. The purchase of 3 Panzerschrecks leaves him with not that many munitions for Oversoldaten LMGs. I definitely feel that Oversoldaten LMGs could outperform conscripts with PTRSs at range, in superior cover, in superior numbers, or at least roughly equal numbers. Per cost. So like 3 squads of ogres to 5 squads of conscripts, which I realize is a pretty tough sell. That's 1,200 manpower worth of obers to try and get on the field. But that tier 4 structure's done. Those PTRSs are going to melt it. T-34 screening. Takes that out in a matter of seconds. BananaInPajamas is trying to put pressure on his opponent by capturing territory. Again, trying to split this blob. He will succeed in getting it to break into 2 parts. 3 squads on the cutoff, 3 more heading back towards the north.
King Tiger, reporting for combat.
Target captured. No enemy contact.
King Tiger's on the field. This thing is gonna have to start wiping conscript squads. This is exactly what BananaInPajamas wants to be happening right now. That is glorious King Tiger food right there. Boom! 8 kills in 1 shot. Oh man. Oh, 10 more. Why aren't they spreading out? They're just standing there. They're just standing there. 21 kills and 3 shots. The carnage. Oh, the carnage. Look how much smaller the Soviet army is all of a sudden. If he would just spread out a little, we wouldn't be taking so much damage right now. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And he surrenders immediately? Well, what a shame! We didn't even get to see him try and utilize his anti-tank bomb run and stun mines to try and counter this thing. He chose tank hunter tactics and only used one of his commander's features. Well, good game. I think we saw some interesting stuff here. I actually like this replay because it shows how Oberkommando West can manage the threat of the PTRS blobs. If you are getting PTRS blobbed, try and emulate some of the things you saw in this game. Spread out, take territory, put pressure on your opponent, economic pressure, and I guess King Tiger, I think that the Soviet player could have recovered a little more gracefully than immediately surrendering. But I guess if you can get a King Tiger out, it will be resilient to the PTRS. I mean, it literally has taken 0 damage, so PTRS not good against heavy tanks. Not any better than it ever was, so good game. Axis wins.